This is Living Power with Dan Hurst.
Now, as a follow-up to what he said earlier about Holy Spirit and the work of the Holy Spirit, Jesus says that one of the things that the Holy Spirit does is that he reveals God's will and God's way to us. That's one of the things that the Holy Spirit is in the business of doing. He's revealing God's will. He's revealing God's way. That's why it's so important, I believe, to have a right relationship with God, so that you free the Holy Spirit to be able to speak to you, to understand what God's will is in your life. I'm so amazed sometimes when I talk to people and they say, well, I just don't know what God's will is. Tell me about your relationship with God. Oh, I go to church. I read my Bible, you know. Tell me about what the Holy Spirit's doing in your life. And then you kind of get that salmon look, you know, like, you know, we don't know. What do you mean by that? Well, if you don't have a relationship with God and you don't have the Holy Spirit at work in your life, how are you going to know God's will? Because that's what the Holy Spirit does. He reveals God's will. That's one of the things that he does. So it's so important to have that freedom, that right relationship with God, so that the Holy Spirit can work in and through your life to reveal what God is up to. So Jesus is basically confirming to the disciples what the Holy Spirit does, what he will do, and that the Holy Spirit is this channel, if you will, in which they will be able to continue their relationship with him. Now remember, the disciples are a little confused. We'll talk about this in a moment, but the disciples are hearing Jesus saying that I'm going away. And now they're also hearing him say, yeah, but the Holy Spirit is going to be there, and he'll be the channel so that you can relate to me. This had to be very confusing to the disciples. I mean, think about how it's confusing you right now. And, you know, they had been with him for 3 years. And so he's saying, you'll still be able to communicate with me. You'll still be able to relate with me. And it will be very, very real. The Holy Spirit will be that channel in which we relate to each other.
On behalf of Dan Hurst and the Open Class, we want to thank you for watching. We hope it was a blessing.